All right, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for coming on here tonight and joining us. My name is Matt Bark, CEO of Mint Builder. We're going to go get started. So, what is it that Mint Builder is all about? What are we here for? And that's what we're going to talk about over the next 20 some minutes. So, we're going to jump right into it. So, if you're probably already aware, there's things going on in our economy. It's in irreversible trouble. This is something that's been going on. This isn't anything new. But some people, it's just being brought to their attention perhaps, and it's not all about the negativity. We don't want to just talk about this kind of stuff. There's always trends going on in different areas. There are downward trends and some are upward trends. Whenever you see a downward trend, there's always opportunity, and that's what we're going to talk about. Mint Builder is literally here for your financial wellness. That is what our mission is. And why is your financial wellness important? Because it really truly does help you reduce your anxiety. It helps you we're going to help you grow your wealth, and then we're going to help you be able to enjoy your life a little bit, being able to relax just a little bit. And we're going to talk about that as we go in. So here at Mint Builder, we're all talking about becoming wealthy. That's a big goal for most people. Achieving, the financial successes that you've always wanted. That might be a big goal for many people. Living on your own terms. Getting up when you want to get up, going to bed when you want to go to bed, not because you're have to do it out of ritual or you have to do it out of your job. That kind of stuff. A lot of people want those things in their life, but the reality is, many won't be able to do those things, and it's not because they can't. It really only takes the right actions. It takes a little bit of proper behavior that'll promote success. If you don't use that kind of the proper behavior, then it's going to promote staying broke. There's really two paths to take. Most people will continue down the same path. It's the easiest, what they've always known. And I'm telling you this firsthand. I did this for a big part of my life, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I know that's the definition of insanity, heading down that path. And why does this always happen to me? Why can't I have success and those kind of things? But really, wealth in itself is not about luck. I can't tell you how many times I've been told this by friends and family, people close to me even, saying, "Man, you're just so lucky. You got to do this." I'm going to tell you that really what it is. I mean, you can go and read, or if you're like me, you like to listen to Audible books, listen to hundreds and hundreds of them about finances, about business, and you're going to find out that there is a little bit of luck, but that's only a little piece of the pie. Really, it all kind of comes down to positioning yourself, and it all comes down to educating yourself and knowing what to do, and then making a plan, and then consistently practicing that plan. If you can follow those three easy blueprinted steps, this is how not just a couple people have gotten successful. This is how we're talking like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have been successful following this blueprint. It's nothing new. And that is what it's all about. Now, the first thing is, and a lot of people don't like to hear the word savings because we think of a budget, we think of painful, and we think, oh, that means I can't enjoy life and all this kind of stuff. But let me just change the dynamics of that just a little bit. Saving is the first step, and not talking about putting paper currency away into a bank account. Talking about expediting the growth of your savings with assets, doing something totally different. And most mistakenly say, okay, well, I'll do that, but first I need to make more money. Guess what? I've been there too. I remember in the mid to late 90s working, kind of a younger guy going into middle management levels. And I remember talking to someone who was the ideal where my goal was to hit to, making well into the six-figure income this guy was. And he's like, it doesn't matter how much you make, you're just going to live at a higher level of broke. It was devastating news to me back then because I didn't know that you can change that. And I thought in my head, well, I was young. I'm gonna prove him wrong. And so I worked my way up into that kind of position. And the same thing happened to me. I started making more money, and I just still continued to live broke. So it's not about making more money. You start where you're at. If you can't start where you're at now, then it's not going to happen no matter how much money you do make. So that is a bogus information that most people have stuck in their head. It's all about consistency. And the number one goal is having an emergency fund. Okay, so putting away something that helps you be able to sleep easy at night. We all are going to have those expenses pop up. Our car is going to break down, a medical emergency. We may lose our job for a period of time. Crazy stuff that's going on right now in our economy. all these things, can happen, and they do eventually. Something is going to happen somewhere. And if, it's kind of like a struggle. Many people get so stressed, it ruins relationships and families, and makes it so you can't sleep at night, and people have heart attacks. All these things are crazy because we don't have this emergency fund put away. That's a big part of it. It isn't the only thing, of course, but it's one of the biggest stressors that makes it so we can't sleep at night. And if you just get a little bit put away, the first thing to have ideally is $1,000, because that'll kind of cover some of the minimal expenses. And then you want to try to get a month's income, 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months income. That's where your emergency fund can grow to, and have that set aside. Then you feel comfortable. And I can tell you firsthand that this has been my case also. Not just me, but I've sat down, had lunch with many different people within our Mint Builder family, other business people, and they've told me, and people in this niche of the industry I'm going to talk about, they have been able to save their livelihood by saving assets when it came to the crunch time, when stuff happened. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. So let's first talk about what these assets are we're talking about. Precious metals. And again, like I said, we've had, there's many people that's preserved their livelihood because of this. Why precious metals asset? There's other assets, right? I mean, I invest in other things, in oil and other different kinds of commodities. Those are considered assets. Some people have homes assets, have rental properties. I like that kind of residual income. It comes from that kind of stuff. Those are all assets. But precious metals, I believe, is very necessary to add to that portfolio. And it's not, I'm not talking about investing. I'm talking about an asset that's a savings account. Most people are talking about gold and silver as some huge investment, but in reality, it doesn't pay dividends. What it does is it's the best way to preserve your wealth against what's going on in the economy, and for numerous reasons. One, it's tangible, and it's limited, and it's something that you can liquidate. It's something that has always held value for thousands of years. Take a look at the US dollar, for example. This isn't just here in the US, this is all over the world. Anyone who uses this currency, fiat currency, this is what's happening. So 100 years ago, a dollar had a true $1 worth of buying power. Today, it's actually at 2.8 cents. It says 4 cents. That was 2012. It's at about 2.8 cents in buying power per dollar. That's where we stand today. So all paper currency that most mistakenly call money has one destination, and that's zero. We're seeing ourselves being changed into a whole different economy, a whole different dynamic right now with our what we're using as a currency. And things are going to change over the years. We're going to see that come right before our eyes. Between what's happening with crypto and what's happening with other things, banks are starting to accept it. So this fiat currency that we're where we have so much built into is going to go on the wayside. Now, what can we do then? Look at this image here. When you see this, for many people, it might bring anxiety. It depends on probably your age, but if you're getting ready to head out and you look at your phone and there's a thin red bar on the phone, you're like, oh shoot, I need to plug this phone in. What am I going to do? I'm going to run out of juice, right? Well, it's really the same thing for our wealth, for our savings. We need to have a charger. We got to find a charger for it. You can literally charge up your wealth by plugging it in, plugging your hard-earned fiat currency, plugging it into real assets, silver and gold. That's how you charge it up, just like you charge your phone up by plugging it into an outlet in the wall. It really is the same thing. Now, silver and gold assets come in two distinct forms. There's bullion, which most people are aware of. And bullion in itself can be broken down in two different categories. You have bullion coins, which are minted by government mints. It can't be a coin unless it's minted by government. That means it's money. And then there's third-party, privately minted bullion, which typically has a lower premium to it, so you're able to get a little bit more of it, but it doesn't have. A lot of people do like the premium, so it's all preference. But the main thing is this bullion is one of the very, very important things we're going to talk about here when it comes to saving. And then there's the numismatic side, which most people don't know much about or anything about, maybe never even heard of that big word. But I'm going to tell you that this industry is a multi-billion, that's a billion with a B, dollar industry, okay? And it's not because there's millions of people spending money on it. It's because there's a small group of elite people who are spending millions of dollars each by collecting these numismatics, and they do it for, just the same as with anything else. When you're looking at, nice artwork, things like that, yeah, of course, some people get the artwork to admire it, but there's really an underlying thing behind that that really is preserving their wealth. It's just a way to, take some of their wealth out of their fiat paper currency, the promissory notes. It's just a piece of paper saying an IOU, basically taking it out of that. You don't, if some of you may be on here right now already have a good amount of wealth. I'm not assuming anything, but I want to tell you firsthand that something I learned was that when you're trying to, if you want to become in that class, if you're not now, of the 1% or even the 5%, you're going to know that you have to get out of paper currency. You don't want to hold a lot of it. You want just a small amount to cover your monthly expenses, things like that. Other than that, you don't want to hold it in there. You want to put it somewhere else. So a lot of the ultra wealthy will take that and put it in numismatics, and to the point where there's more than $1 billion a year being sold in that category. Now, we're going to talk about each one of them, because I believe personally that you need to acquire both to be successful when you're talking about building your wealth and a proper savings. And I personally, what I do is I take 50% of what I'm going to save into assets. I take 50% of it and I purchase bullion with it, and I take 50% and I purchase numismatics. And that's how I personally do it, and I've had a lot of success doing that. So why is it that I want both? Well, first of all, bullion. Bullion's a little more obvious. It's crisis protection, whether that means crisis, worldwide crisis like we're dealing with now, or household crisis. I told you earlier how I've sat down and had lunch with people who have experienced severe crisis. One guy more recently I had lunch with, he was talking about he was out of a job for almost a full year. It was totally unexpected. And he said, thank God I had bought a lot of bullion, because he said he lived for that entire year off of the bullion. He just was liquidating a little bit each month, and he lived off of it. He preserved his lifestyle. He didn't have to change anything. And he had that put away. So that's why you want to build a nest egg up with bullion, to be able to preserve up to a year. That's what a nest egg's for. So at least that. I know some people that own much, much more than that, but that's where I would at least try to make that your goal. And crisis protection, again, it could be personal or it could be global. There's lots of reasons for it. When this whole thing started in the US in March, with the pandemic and everything, there was almost no more bullion anywhere, because everybody went crazy and started buying it at that time. And so the mints shut down. They said, nope, we're not going to sell it because we're going to lose money. The premiums went up a lot, and it was chaos. So now is the time. Things have stabilized. Now is the time to be able to do that. And here at Mint Builder, we have a lot of partners where we are able to get it and be able to procure bullion when a lot of places can't. So that helps a little bit as well. Now, why bullion? Low premiums. That's a huge reason for most people. I want to buy as much silver or gold as I can for the cheapest amount of money. That's for that side of the equation, and it's very important to have that. It's outperformed cash savings. I encourage you to do your own due diligence, to look at if you would have taken X amount of dollars, put it into a bank account for 10 years or 15 or 20 years, and then compare it to gold or silver, bullion, and see which one comes out ahead. It's going to be a no-brainer, but it's good to look at that kind of stuff. And again, it's something that's easily done. Now, the other part of it is it's easily liquidatable. You can just you can sell it online somewhere. We buy it as well here at Mint Builder. If it's something we're selling, you can go to a broker or a pawn shop. Most any of those places, silver and gold store, they're going to give you fair price if they don't go somewhere else, because there's going to be people who are going to give you fair price for bullion. It's easy. It's a no-brainer. Now, numismatics on the other side is a whole nother story. Numismatics can help you rapidly grow your wealth. Now, a lot of people are like, why would I want numismatics when I could just spend more money and get more silver and gold? Again, I believe in a 50-50 method. Find what's comfortable to you and stick with that. But that's for me, what I believe, and I'll show you why in a second. But it does have the ability to rapidly grow your wealth. It's not as market dependent. So, there's things that swing the market around. So silver and gold appears like it's going up and down in price, even though it's really more tied to what's going on with our currencies around the world. But you're not going to find numismatics being pushed around. They're just going to be pretty consistent. There's some things that happen, I'll show you in a minute, with the coins that we try to get. Now, these are sonically preserved, so you're not going to worry about the toning that's happening, or you get your oil off of your fingers on it and it starts changing the color and people are like, oh, it looks corroded, kind of thing. But you're not going to have that because these are preserved. They're going to stay in the condition that they're in. Almost all of numismatics are this way. Not everyone. Sometimes a coin is considered numismatic and it may not be graded and sealed. But most often, that's what you're going to find, these grades, whether it's old or new. Now, I'm going to show you some examples of just some that we've had recently. This Thor coin, it's an MS-70. It's the highest grade you can get, Mint State 70. We had this coin recently. We were selling it to our members for $45. Now the coin is worth over 90. A lot of places are selling it for over 100 right now. Now, that's pretty darn good. I mean, you think about anything else, like you're investing something, this is just a savings account. But let's just say that, you can put your money somewhere else. Are you going to double that money? And this happened within about 6-month window. So it's not a super long period of time. It happened in a few months. Now, another coin we had a few years, this was a couple years ago. This one, the one I just showed you, Thor, wasn't even a year ago. This is one that we had a couple years ago. Our member cost on this coin was $150. It was one of the first of its kind with a concaved coin to it, structure to it. This coin is worth now over $800. Some places selling for over $1,000. And it's because once these coins are, you go for the limited mintage coins. Once they're out of the dealer's hands, now they're in what they call the strong arm, the strong hands. That means it's people, collectors and stuff that have them. So now there's not going to be very many around. And let's say some of the coins, like maybe this one only had like 5,000 minted. How many of those 5,000 are going to be minted at the highest grade possible, a 70? In this case, it's a PF instead of MS. That means proof. That's a special strike, 70. How many of them are minted that? Maybe a couple hundred. And that makes the coin extremely valuable because of the limited mintage. Now, imagine if you would have bought 10 or even 20 of these coins. We had members do that. You would literally, if you bought 10 of them, you'd literally have $8,000 in newfound wealth. Minus the 1,500 that you spent. You would have come out quite a bit ahead on that. Now, the secret to the success of our members here at Mint Builder is that they're buying these coins already right out of the gate under the value of what they're selling for out there. So it leads to instant wealth gains. You can literally buy a coin from us in our shop as a member, and you could probably turn around and sell it if you wanted to, like on eBay or somewhere like that. There's other online coin selling sites. You can make your own website. We have a place in our shop called the Open Vault where you can sell to other people who are looking at our site, and you could actually turn a profit on that particular coin right out of the gate. Now, do I recommend buying and selling right away? No, because I feel like you could miss out on the opportunity. For example, we had 5-ounce Spider-Man coins that were signed by Stan Lee himself. We had these coins. We were able to grab up, I think there was like 200 of them minted and signed by him. And we had like 105, I think we were able to get. And we sold them all out right away. I personally had bought some, and I waited for a few months, and I sold them after, of course, what happened with Stan Lee passing away. And not to mention the whole Spider-Man movies, just the franchise has just grown like crazy. And I turned and flipped the coin. We were selling for 500, and I flipped the coin for 1,200. I think I had bought like 3 or 4 of them, and I sold them for like $1,200. Now, do I normally just flip them that fast? No, I usually like to hold them. It's kind of like having your own personal vault. But in an opportunity like that pops up, you just want to do it. So if you can more than double your money on something, that's what we're talking about here at Mint Builder. And we're always adding new products to our shop to be able to accomplish that goal. Now, the member platform is really the basis of the entire program. You're able to save hundreds, you're able to save even thousands of dollars being a member here. And this pricing is unavailable to the general public. Nobody else is going to get the pricing we have. I personally am going through the site on a regular basis and comparing to all of the, the huge multi-million-dollar wholesalers out there to make sure that all of our products are cheaper than every company out there. And so if it isn't, then I'm either dealing directly with a mint or, going through NGC, getting the coins graded, or we do have some third-party companies that will wholesale to us in bulk. And I'm working with them to make sure we always are going to have the best prices for our members. This is basically giving you access as if you're a wholesaler spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. Basically, we're taking the entire Mint Builder family, the whole entire organization's buying power, and combining it so that you can access that kind of pricing as if you were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars or more by even buying just one coin. So that's how it works out here. That's how the whole program works. And you can cancel anytime. It's not like you're paying for a whole year or longer. It's a month to month. It's real simple, really easy, and very affordable. Now, the member platform, I'm going to talk about what all is entailed with it. What do you get for this platform? You're going to get simple, powerful commissions also. So not only wholesale stuff, but also you're going to be able to get paid if you want. If you want to market the system, you don't have to. Some of our members are just on here to be, customers to be able to buy better price silver and gold than anywhere else. Many of our members also want to promote and make some extra income and use that income to buy or to get free silver and gold, or to take the income. They need an extra stream of income. It's really nice. Now, here's how simple it is. You're getting paid 10% on personal referrals. There's no points. There's no ranks required. It's real simple. So a lot of companies out there that do have affiliate type programs or network marketing programs, what they do is they do one of two things. One, they either split it into a binary, so you have to balance your teams to get paid, and it's based on that. Or if it's not a binary, then you have to take the points. You're going to sell a product, you're going to get points for that product, and you have to equate the points into how much you're going to make. It's complicated, and it can look really intriguing. It can look like it's going to be a lot of money, but when it comes down to it, really, what are you getting paid? I've been in the industry since the late 90s, when especially even specifically the precious metals side of affiliate programs, things like that. And I'm telling you that it's there's a lot of glimmer and glamour in it to make it look big. That's the whole point. That's the sizzle sells, right? But instead of that, we thought it'd be way simpler, and the right way to do it would be to just make it a percentage. So if you sell a product for $100, what's 10%? $10. That's it. That's it. No points. And we have achievements. You can call them ranks if you want, but it doesn't. What you earn isn't based on your achievement. Your achievement's just there to help you, know that you're growing, and it feels good to know that you've made achievements. But it's not there to give you more. You have full access to our entire comp plan right out of the gate without having to achieve any ranks at all. So, so that makes it nice and simple. Everything is right out in the open. It's very right out front. But there's more to it than that. We also have a 50% team match. So if you want to build a team, maybe you want to refer some people, that's great. They also want to refer people. We're going to reward that. So not only are you're going to make 10% on any personal referrals you refer, but your team also is going to earn that 10%. And when they do, we're going to give you a 50% match, not just from your personal referrals. That'd be your tier 2, but also tier 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to give you a 50% match on your team sales on 4 tiers below your personals. So you're actually getting paid on a true 5-tier system, which is very powerful when you're considering the industry is very tight margins, and our pricing is great. Included in the member platform is your tools. I'm going to talk about that for a second. You have your own e-commerce website, beautiful website, very modern, has everything on there, but yet simple. You're going to have your own is coded to you can promote. You're going to have your own precious metals shop, and it's got different categories like numismatics and bullion and coin-related jewelry and accessories, so much on there. You have your own shop to promote. And then you also have your own sales team software. We call it the income platform. And with this, you can track your commissions, and you have lots of tools to promote. You have tons and tons of libraries of videos that you can learn and educate yourself and to help build the business. The maintenance is done for you. I can tell you firsthand, we have full-time an IT team that I'm working with daily. And, when you have your own software that you build proprietary, software, it's very expensive to maintain it. It's all taken care of for you. Like I said, there's tons of training, marketing tools like page peels, banners, QR codes, funnels. You have your own free lead capture system. A lot of places charge $10 to over $100 a month for the lead capture systems. It's included in the member platform. It's all included. We don't have upcharges all over the place. It's all included. And autoresponder emails are sent out for you. Payment processing is all done for you. We have many different ways you can pay, from crypto, through BitPay, through, paying with credit card, PayPal. You can send paper checks, money order, wire, all these different things you can do. We have different options. Product order fulfillment's done for you. You don't have to worry about stocking and inventorying hundreds of thousands of dollars in products and then making sure it gets there, insuring it. We do all that. Really, what it all comes down to, if you're interested in the affiliate side program, is that you just say, hey, maybe you're interested in this. Take a look. Send them a link. That's it. Maybe follow up and say, hey, would you like it? What'd you think? That's it. And we do everything else for you. We take all the risk. We do all the work. All of that's done for you. So it's really kind of a no-brainer. And then there's unlimited commissions. We don't have a cap on it. There's no, a lot of times, like I said, companies will put a cap on there. So, that way they can say you can earn so much. And usually it's per rank. You can only earn so much, a cap per rank. And that's what manages it, so they can make it look like they're paying out a lot because they're saying they're paying, but you have to hit certain ranks. There is no cap. It's totally open, totally unlimited. We have people making thousands and thousands a week, and you can do that. It's really simple, and I'm going to show you how simple it is. So this chart I'm going to show you is based on all of our subscriptions combined, giving you an average, and it just so happens that the average happens to be exactly right on to one of our most popular subscriptions I'm going to talk about in a minute. So this is going to just give you an example of a scenario of if you personally refer 4 people onto a subscription where they're going to preserve and save their wealth each month. And so you're doing someone a favor, you're helping them preserve wealth, and do something good in life, and in that aspect, in the financial aspect, where most people nowadays don't save anymore. And by doing it, you're going to be rewarded very, very handsomely. And I'm going to show you here. So again, refer 4 people onto a subscription, and you're going to earn $50 a month. So not a lot. It might pay, maybe somebody's phone bill, maybe, I don't know. But it's a nice start. You just personally refer 4, and you're going to get paid that every time. So you're only referring 4 people one time, and you're going to always get paid $50 a month. That's $600 a year. Nice residual income. Then when your personals go out and refer 4, just like you did, okay? So now you're talking about your tier 2 team. Remember, you're earning 50% matches. Now you're earning a total of $150 a month, okay? So it's starting to add up a little bit. You're talking about, making, a decent little extra amount coming in here. And it's really by not doing anything else. You've literally only referred 4, and then they just chose to do the same thing you did. And then finally, your tier 3, they do the same thing. Again, you're not doing anything extra. You've just referred those 4, and then they duplicated what you've done. Now you're making $500 a month. And then tier 4, kind of coming in the same thing. Tier 4, now you're making $2,000 a month. For a lot of people, this is very significant. Making $24,000 extra dollars a year. Pays most people's mortgages and then some. So that's again, this is just everybody duplicating what you did, referring 4. If you think you can do 4, then probably anybody can do 4. And then finally, your 5th tier, referring 4 as well. Now you're making $8,000 a month. Do we have people doing that? Yes, we do have people doing that. And it's a very simple process of just simply referring 4 people onto a wealth saving subscription that makes sense. And it's not something that's going to cost them $1,000 a month. We're talking about something that actually, we're talking about just barely under $100 a month. So very, very affordable to be able to get $8,000 a month. You're talking almost $100,000, almost a 6-figure income a year. It's that easy. Now, this member platform, you're probably thinking, okay, well, here's the catch. We're about to find out what it is. It actually costs about $5,000 a month to operate it. I'm going to tell you much more than that, much more. Not to mention more than $100,000 to build out the platforms that it took us to do that in almost a year to accomplish that. But we're going to be conservative and say that the actual cost of this is over $5,000 a month, but you only have to pay $39 a month. Now you're thinking, how is that possible? With everything I just told you, it's because, again, it's a co-op. We're taking, what everybody's doing with a like-mindedness, trying to preserve wealth and collect assets. And you have enough people doing that, and you have thousands of people doing that. That collective power allows us to be able to make this platform this affordable. Anybody can afford $39 a month, because even if you can't swing $39 a month and you're talking just $1 a day, then you will be able to by just simply referring 4 people. Matter of fact, just referring 3 people just about covers it. But if you do what we were just talking about, referring 4 people, you're making $50 a month. And then guess what? You can leave your funds in your back office and pay your subscription right out of that. So now your subscription is free every month, and you're actually still making money. So your business is profitable, that with only 4 customers. I don't know very many businesses. I've had a lot of businesses, and I'm telling you that I've never been successful having 4 customers. But this model is done so simple and yet powerful. It allows you to accomplish that. Now, what we've done is we've taken that base. So the member platform is the basis to the entire program, because with it, you have a coin with 2 sides, right? You got one side where you're able to buy precious metals, all categories of precious metals, for cheaper than anywhere else you can find on the planet, okay, with that for that member platform. And on the other side of the coin, you have access to probably the most powerful compensation plan in our niche of the industry, that's yet the simplest as well. That's a very powerful coin that you have in your hands. Now, that's the $39 member platform. What we've done, though, is we've taken it, and people said, hey, I want to be able to save on a monthly basis too. So we've taken assets and we've added that on top. We stacked it on top of the member platform, so that you can save with these bundles. We're calling them bundles. So the first one I'm going to show you here is called the Silver Piece Bundle. Now, it includes, again, it's stacked on top of the member platform, so it includes the $39 monthly cost of that. And you're going to receive one semi-numismatic. It's an old coin, something that's on average about 80 years old, and it's about 1/3 of an ounce of true silver. They're pretty cool. These coins were, passed around as real money back in the day when they were out. And typically it's the one you see here, like this Walking Liberty, but it can be a Franklin half, an old 50-cent piece, but it was made with silver back then that was, again, containing about 1/3 of an ounce of pure silver if it was melted down. Now, that coin you're going to find selling out there in the marketplace for $12, $13, $14, maybe more. And it's included in this package. It's only $8 for that. Now, that means this total package is only $47. So not only are you getting the member platform, but a no-brainer, you're just adding $8 extra a month onto it, and you're going to start acquiring a very small amount of assets each month. But hey, it's something to start saving with. And it has to start somewhere. Remember, consistency is where it comes from. Now, the most popular bundle that we have right now is the one I was just talking about. I said I was going to tell you about it. This is what I was basing the entire compensation plan model I was just showing you. That example was based off of this subscription, basically. When you average all of our subscriptions together, this is what it comes out to be. Now, this is a rotation. Okay, so you're going to have your member platform again for $39, and then you're going to receive a rotation. So you're going to get a different coin month to month, and it's always going to be a mint state 70 coin, an MS70, the highest grade possible every time, but you never know what it's going to be. It's going to be something from a different country, a different mint, but it has to be a government minted coin. So it could be minted from the Australian mint, the UK mint, the Canadian mint, the US mint. There's so many mints all over the world. There's a lot of mints in different kind of like Caribbean islands, and there's so many different mints all over the world. So many coins to discover. But the thing is you're going to always get a perfectly graded coin, which gives it extremely great value. So you're getting a bargain. Now, these coins, when you buy them outright, other places, they're going to usually cost you $80, $90, even $100. But you're getting this entire package for only $97 a month. And again, it includes your $39 monthly member platform as well. We have competition selling these same kind of rotational coins for about $32 more a month than this, and there's nothing different to theirs. Matter of fact, it may not even have the same access to better pricing like we have. We have even better pricing. So this is the best deal, and this is why so many people are on this subscription each month. So it's a no-brainer. You're practically getting your member platform for free because you're paying $97 for a coin that's worth about that all by itself, even though we're only selling the coin for 58 in this package. So that's the great part of that. Now, this is becoming the most popular. It's almost caught up to that last one. This is called the Select Few, and the picture you see was the very first one that we shipped out when we first started this package. And again, it includes the member platform for 39, and it's going to also include one rare rotation. So you're going to, again, each month get a different kind of coin. Most of the time it's going to be a graded coin, but sometimes we find some really rare coins that aren't graded. And the coin itself is going to pretty much always be worth more than you're paying for this package, which is $179 all by itself. Typically, the coin is going to be worth over $200. So this package is the no-brainer package because you're getting the member platform pretty much free because of the price of the coin. And we have some really cool coins that are going out with this package. And I'm just looking right now, the current one that's going out right now that we're almost out of this stock of this one though, but it's the Shades of Nature 2018 Sun Gazer Lizard. It's a PF proof 70 ultra cameo struck. It's got gold plating on the coin, and then the lizard stands out in a three-dimensional texture, and looks like diamonds, but it's silver. It's a really cool coin. It's minted by the Pacific or the Cook Island Mint. So that's another one of those that does that, has the special Pacific Rim label. So that's what you're going to get with this package, something like that. And it's a really cool one. Like I said, a lot of people are turning to this package because you're getting more value than what you're paying for. You're getting much more value. We have other ones as well. You can always check into it and see what fits you by going to the website that you referred to. Now, your subscription does have a deeper impact as well. We have partnered with Feed My Starving Children for years now, and I love this organization. I've personally went and packaged meals with them because they go by the volunteers coming in. You'll have hundreds or even thousands of volunteers coming in, and they kind of turn it into a friendly competition. Like you're in like teams of 8 people, and you're all over this giant like gym or something like that, or warehouse, and you're all packaging to see how many meals you could do, and whoever has the most meals, kind of bragging rights. It's really a lot of fun. But because they do so much volunteer work, they're able to get these meals, more meals out for the money. I've never personally seen a 501c3 nonprofit organization that has had a 91% of the funds being used go directly to the food. I've never seen that high before. A lot of times it's 50 or 60%. There's so much overhead costs with delivery and employees and things like that. So this incredible that they have a high 91%. They have the highest rating you can have as well with nonprofits. So it's a great organization. Every time you're on a subscription, every month you're feeding starving children in over 100 countries, not just in 1 or 2 countries. It's all over the world. There's literally hungry children right here in the U.S. too, and that's where it even helps here in the U.S. So it's all over the place. Love the organization. Now we're going to switch gears just for a second to finish up. This is a little known fact that banks are literally trading paper currency for silver. And if you're like me, when you first learn that, you're like, what is going on? This is a bank. So, they used to go to the bank and you say, hey, you would buy, silver or gold from the bank. Now, if you do that, they just look at you like, huh? Because there's no such thing anymore. Not for decades. There was no such thing as going to the bank. It was something totally separate. But now they're buying silver, but they're not buying it to sell, to be able to trade in for their customers. When you come in as a customer, they're not trading it for a paper currency. They're buying it for themselves. Chase Bank, for example, they own over 500 million ounces of silver and counting. It's probably much higher by now. Why are they moving away from paper? That's the question. It's got to throw a red flag. It's got to make you wonder what is going on that they're doing that. And if they're doing it, the banking elite is doing this, maybe, just maybe, we should do the same, right? Maybe if they're the ones that know all about the world finances, so they know something's happening and they know that that's going to store their wealth. One of the biggest banks in the world is doing that. It's kind of like if you were going over to Microsoft and you went to their headquarters and you went in there and you were doing a tour and you got to see all their offices. You're like, oh, that's cool. Or at the Microsoft place, you see all their innovative things going on. And then you say, well, that's weird. Why do you have Apple computers and Microsoft? That would never happen. That would make no sense. But that's the same thing that's happening when you see that the banks are, taking the paper currency that they're pushing out all over. Well, the Federal Reserve, that's a whole other story we're not getting into. But everything on the bank is built on ones and zeros of our currency, and they're literally buying silver. So that's something to check into for yourself. The world paper currency is in irreversible trouble. We started off talking about it. I'm going to finish with that because it's important to understand that even the banks know that it's irreversible. They know that, and they're positioning themselves right now to be able to maintain it and to be able to for a wealth transfer to be able to take care of that. So we should, as individuals, be doing that as well. We don't want to say, oh, I didn't know, and it's too late now. So it's real simple. All you have to do to be able to do what Chase is doing is you have to go to the Mint Builder site of the person who referred you, just click on the Get Started button, and you can start doing exactly what Chase is doing and other banks and start getting ahead by setting up, preserving your wealth with assets, get on a consistent basis of saving the proper asset that's going to help grow your wealth. And that's the best way to do it. And that is it. And I just want to say, hey, thank you so much for taking the time to be on here tonight. I know our time is very important to each and every one of us, and you are not going to regret it. And I want to be able to be the first to welcome you to the Mint Builder family. So that's it for tonight. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to get onto that website, check it out, and check out everything about it. If you have any questions, get back to the person who referred you, or you can email us at support@mintbuilder.com, and we'll help you out as well. So that's it. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you again real soon. Bye for now.